The late 1970s were the golden age of disco. The clubs were packed, the radios were playing, and these unforgettable beats were everywhere. Today, we're counting down 15 disco one-hit wonders that defined an era, and some of them may take you straight back to the dance floor.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Number 15. Kung Fu Fighting, Carl Douglas. In 1974, martial arts seemed to be everywhere. Bruce Lee movies were filling theaters. Kung Fu had become part of American pop culture, and then Carl Douglas turned the craze into a dance floor sensation. Kung Fu Fighting was playful, catchy, and almost impossible to sit still through. The song raced to #1 in America and became an international hit. You can almost hear it coming from a 70s family radio while kids laughed and tried to copy the martial arts moves they'd seen at the movies. It was silly, it was fun, and it arrived at exactly the right moment. Carl Douglas never matched that enormous American breakthrough again, but this became the record people would always remember him for. And decades later, those opening beats can still transport you straight back to 1974. Number 14. Born to Be Alive, Patrick Hernandez. Some songs don't wait for you to decide whether you want to dance. They make the decision for you. Born to Be Alive is one of those records. Picture a late 70s highway after dark. The dashboard is glowing, the radio is turned up, and that driving beat suddenly fills the car. Patrick Hernandez had found a remarkably simple formula: a relentless rhythm, a memorable chorus, and an energy that seemed made for Saturday night. The record became a huge international success as disco reached its peak. But Hernandez never found another American pop success that matched that breakthrough. And perhaps that's why the song feels so special today. You don't need to remember a long career. You only need those first few seconds. Suddenly, you're back in that car, on that road, with the radio turned up. Number 13. Ring My Bell, Anita Ward. Before smartphones, a ringing telephone could change the entire mood of a room. In 1979, Anita Ward turned that everyday sound into one of disco's most recognizable hooks. Ring My Bell had a playful personality, but underneath it was a powerful groove built for the dance floor. The song's path to becoming a disco classic was unusual. It was originally conceived in a different direction before the production was transformed into the record audiences eventually heard. Then everything clicked. The song reached #1. Suddenly, Anita Ward's voice was coming from radios and record players across America. But nothing else in her American pop career matched that enormous breakthrough. For many listeners, Ring My Bell became her lasting calling card. And hearing it today can bring back something wonderfully ordinary: a telephone beside the sofa, a record spinning nearby, and a 70s evening that suddenly feels much closer than it did a moment ago. Number 12. Boogie, Oogie, Oogie, A Taste of Honey. By 1978, disco had escaped the nightclub. It was at roller rinks, in department stores, on television, and coming through radios everywhere. Then, A Taste of Honey released Boogie Oogie Oogie. That bass line grabs you immediately. The record climbed to #1, and the group's breakthrough became even bigger when A Taste of Honey won the Grammy for Best New Artist. For a moment, everything seemed to be happening at once. A huge record, a Grammy, a place at the center of the disco explosion. But the 70s moved quickly. The sound changed, the fashion changed, and the disco boom eventually collapsed. Boogie Oogie Oogie, however, refused to disappear. Play it today, and that bass line still sounds like Friday night. Number 11. More, More, More. Andrea True Connection.
You want to know how I really feel. Get the camera.
Andrea True did not follow the usual road to pop stardom. Before becoming associated with one of disco's most recognizable records, she had already built a career in a very different part of entertainment. Then came music.
How do you like it? How do you like it more?
In 1976, More, More, More appeared, and its hypnotic groove quickly found an audience. The rhythm seems to circle endlessly, almost like the dance floor itself. Suddenly, Andrea True Connection was part of the disco soundtrack.
How do you like your love?
For a moment, her voice was everywhere. Nightclubs, radio stations, parties, record players. But the spotlight moved on. Her later recordings never matched the American pop impact of More, More, More.
Get the cameras rolling. Get the action going.
That one record became her lasting calling card. And that's what makes her story so fascinating. Sometimes a pop career isn't carefully planned. Sometimes one unexpected song catches fire. And for a brief moment, an unlikely artist finds herself at the center of the music world.
Up to the sky.
Number 10. Fly, Robin, Fly. Silver Convention. Disco had no borders. In 1975, Germany's Silver Convention crossed the Atlantic with Fly, Robin, Fly. The record didn't need a complicated story. It needed a groove, a repeated phrase, and a beat strong enough to keep a dance floor moving. And it worked. Fly, Robin, Fly reached #1 in America. Think about what that meant. A group from Germany had created one of the biggest sounds on American radio.
Up to the sky.
You could hear it in a New York nightclub, a California car, or a suburban living room with a record player in the corner. That was the strange power of disco. The beat was the language. Silver Convention never duplicated that level of American pop success, but Fly, Robin, Fly became one of the records that defined their place in the disco era, and it remains a perfect snapshot of the moment when disco truly became an international phenomenon.
I'm still waiting.
Number 9. Come to Me, France Joli.
You know what to turn to.
In 1979, France Joli was still incredibly young. Then suddenly, her voice was coming through speakers in clubs, filled with people who had been dancing to disco for years.
When your world is empty and cold, come to me.
Come to Me gave her an extraordinary breakthrough. The vocals were emotional, the production was polished, and the rhythm belonged perfectly on both radio and the dance floor.
Is empty and cold, come to me.
For a young singer, the experience must have been surreal. Imagine hearing your own voice on the radio, then realizing that people across the country are dancing to it. For a moment, France Joli looked like one of disco's next major stars. But timing can be cruel. The disco era was approaching its breaking point, and the musical landscape was already changing. Her career continued, but Come to Me remained the record most closely associated with that breakthrough. Today, the song feels like a photograph taken just before the lights changed. A young singer, a huge audience, one final burst of disco energy before the decade moved on.
You set my lips on fire. You want that key to
Number 8. Instant Replay. Dan Hartman.
dance through the moonlight. I feel the pleasure in your touch.
The 70s didn't belong to one sound. Dan Hartman knew the world of rock music well, but by the late 70s, the dance floor had become impossible to ignore.
Got to have it.
Hartman stepped into disco with Instant Replay, bringing along some of the musical instincts he'd developed earlier in his career. The result sounded surprisingly modern: electronic textures, a pulsing bass line, a rhythm made for a city after dark.
Got to have your love again.
You can see it immediately. Neon reflected across a windshield as a car moves through downtown, with Instant Replay coming through the radio. The song became a major dance hit and introduced Hartman to a completely different audience. But his career continued far beyond disco. He worked across different areas of music and proved he was much more versatile than one hit suggested. Still, when those opening sounds return, many listeners are instantly transported to the late 70s. That was Dan Hartman's Instant Replay. Number 7. The best disco in town. The Ritchie Family. Some records remind you of a song. The best disco in town reminds you of an entire night. The disco ball is turning above a crowded dance floor, while the DJ waits behind the booth. Then the record starts moving through the sounds people came to hear. That was the appeal. It didn't simply represent one disco hit. It celebrated the whole disco experience. The clothes, the clubs, the dancing, the excitement of Friday night when Monday seemed very far away. And there's something almost emotional about hearing it now. Because you're not just remembering music, you're remembering a world where people waited for the DJ to play their favorite record, where music came from vinyl, and where the best part of the night might simply have been finding a place on the dance floor. Number 6. In the Bush. Musique. Not every side of disco was polished and glamorous. There were darker clubs, later nights, louder sound systems, and records that pushed the boundaries of mainstream pop. Musique's In the Bush belonged to that world. The groove was relentless, and the lyrics attracted attention because they were more provocative than many mainstream listeners expected. That controversy became part of the record's identity.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Do you like it? Do you like it like this? Are you ready?
But once the music was playing in a club, the only thing that mattered was the beat. This was disco as nightlife rather than simply radio pop. The lights were lower, the atmosphere was different, and the audience came looking for something less predictable. Musique never became one of the biggest household names of the era, but In the Bush remains a fascinating time capsule of disco at its wildest. It reminds us that the 70s dance scene wasn't just glitter and happy radio hits. There was another side, and it was very much alive after midnight. Number 5. Shame, Evelyn Champagne King. 19 Pug. Some voices arrive on a record and immediately tell you who they are. Evelyn Champagne King had one of those voices. Shame brought together the emotional strength of soul and the irresistible rhythm of disco. When King begins to sing, the record suddenly feels bigger than the beat underneath it. The song became a major hit in 1977 and established King as one of the memorable female voices of the era. But what makes Shame last isn't just its chart success. There's real emotion underneath the groove. Heartbreak, regret, confidence, pride. That's why the record didn't feel trapped when disco began to fade. You could dance to it. You could listen to it alone. You could hear it decades later and still feel something. The rhythm belongs to the 70s, but the emotion belongs to everyone. Number 4. Strut Your Funky Stuff, Frantique. Not every 70s song became a household name. Some disappeared from the mainstream and waited quietly inside old record collections. Strut Your Funky Stuff is one of those records. The week is finally over. You change clothes, meet your friends, get into the car, and turn up the radio. Suddenly, everything that happened Monday through Friday feels far away. That's what this song captures. Not fame, not history, just the feeling of going out. Frantique never became a giant household name, but this record became the one many listeners would remember. And that's the strange power of forgotten music. You might forget the artist, you might forget the year, but play the song again, and suddenly you remember a friend, an old club, a pair of shoes, or a night you haven't thought about in decades. The song may have faded, the memory didn't. Number 3. Ain't No Stoppin' Us Now, McFadden and Whitehead.
I know we've got a long, long way to go. And
Now the mood changes. We've spent most of this countdown on dancing, but Ain't No Stoppin' Us Now carries something more. It feels like motion, like leaving something behind and heading towards something better. The windows are down on a summer evening. Friends are packed into a car, the radio is turned up, and everybody knows the words. Ain't no stopping us now. Suddenly, those words aren't just lyrics. They're a feeling. The song grew beyond the dance floor and became an anthem of confidence and determination. That's why it has lasted. The disco era ended. The clubs changed. The fashions disappeared. But people still need hope. They still need confidence. They still need a reason to believe the road ahead can be better than the road behind. And that's why this record feels bigger than the decade that created it. Number 2. You Make Me Feel, Mighty Real, Sylvester. The lights are low, the crowd is waiting, and then Sylvester takes the spotlight. From the first notes, his voice rises above the beat, high, powerful, and impossible to forget. But this wasn't just another disco record. You Make Me Feel, Mighty Real, was about freedom, confidence, and being able to step onto a dance floor and simply be yourself. The song became a defining record of Sylvester's career and a lasting part of disco and club culture. Its impact reached far beyond the dance floor, especially among listeners who found freedom and self-expression in his music. Decades later, the disco ball may be gone, but that feeling remains. When Sylvester's voice fills the room, you can almost see the lights, the dancers, and a 70s night coming alive again.
I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face.
Number 1. I Will Survive. Gloria Gaynor.
You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to...
It's late 1978. The party is over, the room is quiet, and a vinyl record is turning beneath a lamp. Somewhere, someone is alone after a relationship has ended. Then Gloria Gaynor's voice begins. At first, it sounds like another disco song. But when you hear the words, everything changes. This isn't just heartbreak, it's strength. I Will Survive reached number 1 in America in 1979 and became much more than a disco hit. When disco faded, the clubs changed, and the 70s disappeared, this song remained. Maybe it reminds you of an old love, a dance, a friend, or simply being young. That's why it belongs at number 1. The 70s may be gone, but when this song plays, for a moment, you're back there again. The disco era may be gone, but the memories never really disappeared. Which of these songs takes you back the most? Let me know your favorite in the comments. And if you love the music of the 70s, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more unforgettable songs from an unforgettable era.